Okay, so I've grabbed my mates and I'm going to show you some mid-tier gameplay as I do my best to try and explain Ossein Cage. So without further ado, let's go. So these trash pulls can be a bit tricky, but your best bet is to just stack everything on the banner ads as best you can. In this case, you've got dread razors. You'll see that there's some bone hands that go up that will try and stun players, and then the bone colossus will throw out some red skulls which will fear people. They do have a 180 field of vision, so as a DD and a healer, your best bet is to just stack up behind them. The Dread Razors will put out a green spectral ghost. It is called a spectral revenant and it will target one player. It is a one shot. If it attacks you, you can roll dodge it and you can kite it around and just beam as best you can. It will die when the Dread Razor dies, leaving you to go back to your group. Next bit to explain will be your portals, and the group will have to go together, and once you've gone through you will notice you've got two ads with some little glowy balls and they will reset your caustic carrion stacks. In lower damage groups you probably will need to pick up that synergy. In more comfy groups you can go straight to the channeler, kill it, and then obviously everything will just go away. There will be some little ads when you come back out the portal, but you could always get an off tank and a DD to take care of those while you are inside. You will notice that into this trash pull the abductor will spawn, and for the purposes of this video I've kind of left out the side bosses. We don't really do them because there's not really much benefit outside of achievements. But I can put it on the to-do list and make a separate video at a later date. On this trash pull you've got some werewolves that jump around and they're absolutely god awful, and you've got a couple of bone colos and a dread razor. Flip the bone colos round so they don't fear the group and stack on the dread razor and just beam everything down. That's usually the safest bet. Then we've got another portal, so you're just going to leave a tank and a DD outside, take care of the trash while we go in and take care of the channeler. You will notice that your add-on will tell you that you are receiving incoming damage from caustic carrion, so your healers will need to be constantly healing during that point until the channeler dies and your damage stacks go away. This trash pull you've got 3 bone colos, so you just want to make sure you stack them up on the right hand side and face them away from the group. This trash pull you want to kind of do quite quickly to stop that dread razor coming all the way down the hill, and you want to stack the 2 bone colos on it and really ignore all of those little dodgy skeleton members. All of that will just disappear, and make sure you don't get caught in fear, and that's about it. And you can see that I'm just in range of one of the fear skeletons. I'm just in that field of view, so I have to just readjust and move around. Okay, this fight is more visually overwhelming than anything else, but once you find your positioning and your rhythm, everything gets a lot easier. Main tank will grab the harvester and the channeler, and the off tank will grab the abomination, and you're just going to stack it all up on the channeler. You're going to drop your ultimates once everything's stacked up, and healers, once the channeler's dead, the shield will drop on the flesh blob, and then that expellent will get cast out. Make sure if you've got a barrier handy, you just throw that out to ensure the survival of the group, especially in newer groups. It can be a bit awful. You will also see the group have repositioned just to make sure they're beaming through the blob and taking care of the ads at the same time. And then we're just repositioning the group next to the portal and sending the portal team. And here we have a portal perspective from one of the hard mode groups, so it looks like it's got a bit more health, but the mechanics stay the same. You can do this with 3 DDs and a healer, even on a standard vet and in hard mode as well. If you've got a lower damage group in vet, you can take the synergy that's dropped by the blob before you go through the portal. All you've got to do is make sure once you're done, you let your main room know so the main tank can grab the harvester. Back in the main room, we are clearing things up and taking care of any flesh spawns that pop up while we wait for the portal team to finish. Once they've finished, you will get a harvester and an abomination that spawn after each portal. DDs and healers are stacked on one side of the blob, and the tanks will be free to stack the ads on the other side. Drop your ultimates once everything's brought in, and you are just passing down the Shaper of Flesh. Once that's been taken down, you're going to clear up your space where you're passing, and then you're going to move as a group to the new position. Take care of anything as you move, and be careful of anything that's trying to mow you down. In groups where it's a bit more chaotic and you have an overabundance of abominations, you can hold your portal team to clear up the room. There is no penalty for this. Send your portal team to kill the channeler, clear up the room in the main room, and keep an eye out for the little flesh spawns until the portal team get back. So shields drop in, portal team are back. We're stacking the harvester, stacking the abomination, and the group are nice and tight so the healers can heal them. We are keeping an eye out for extra flesh spawns and the little lads, just making sure that the beamers can get them as well. Group are on the move again, clearing up as they go, and you will notice a realm shaper spawning on the left hand side. They very rarely move. You can range taunt them as far, but they only move so far. DD's doing their beamy stuff, and we're getting into new position. Portal team are going, and we're just keeping an eye on the main room. Keeping an eye out for flesh spawns, keeping an eye out for little crappy ads, and waiting for the portal team to get back. There's your harvester spawning in, and then your abomination getting brought into stack, ready for you to do the same thing all over again. Drop your ultimates when everything comes in, wait for the flesh bag to die, and then wait for your portal to spawn so you can see where your new position's going to be. And in this case, it's on the left of the screen, and then we can just head over there. Keep an eye out for any things as you're moving over to new position, and in this section you will have like a day drop that just sort of starts going round, so just make sure one of your tanks have got it under control and your DDs are doing their thing. Everybody starts drifting over to new position, sending portal team to do their thing and kill the channeler, while we keep an eye on the main room. And as we're coming into the last quarter of the fight now, you'll notice as the harvester comes in, the flesh abomination comes in, and then I will have just circled over into the far corner. There are 2 flesh spawns. They just increase and they kind of make everybody panic during execute. So we will get an extra abomination on this field. So the off tank has just got to kind of reposition, grab the taunt, and then get it into stack as quick as he can. And as we've got another abomination on the field, I just delay moving for a little bit, make sure we've cleared up the space before we move over to new position. And as we're moving over to new position, taking care of things as we go, you will notice that we are down to the last flesh bag. So all we're doing is waiting for that shield to drop, and then we're just going to take care of it. The off tank and the main tank will just take the adds away, and you're just going to go ham radio, execute it, done. And then, as you can see, with that dead, everything disappears. You can take a breather, and congratulations, you did it! I have made sure to try and do as minimal edits as possible with this video to try and give a realistic picture to raiding in here, because it is messy sometimes, I'm not going to lie. And this group, they've only done it maybe 4 or 5 times, so they've done really well. So your new adds here are your Tormented Crushers, which is basically a Wamasu 2.0, and it's got just a really nice mean breath. So the tank's going to take that, stack it all up together, and we're just going to go in and drop a house. So you will notice that after these adds are dead, there are 2 portals on the left and the right, and those groups will have been assigned beforehand. You'll just make your way up into the portal, take care of the channeler, and watch out for your caustic carrion stacks. So with this pull, our tanks have grabbed all 3 of the banner adds, and then they've pulled them back through the door, similar to what you do in Sunspire. Again, it doesn't, as long as they resemble a stack, it'll be alright. You can sort of try anywhere. And again, for the purposes of time, you'll have noticed the abductor pool has spawned, and we're not going to get it. We're just going to carry on through. So you split up into your groups again. This corridor is a bit longer, so if you are a bit unsure or you've got nervous raiders, you can kill this ad that I've circled and then carry on down to the channeler. In the comfy groups, you'll probably just run straight down to the channeler, offload the damage, and maybe get the synergy if you need to. I do keep this death in here to kind of show you that they just burn it, like they just let the stacks ramp up and then take care of it. But there are sensible ways to do these things as well, gang. With this trash pull coming up, you have got 3 crushers, and I usually give 2 to the main tank and 1 to the off tank. You can take 2 once you get comfy. I think 3 is a bit of a push on a main tank, to be fair, but there's some of you out there that like to live dangerously. So this fight is fantastic. On a standard fair, there's not that much to worry about. You have got very little stress until you get into hard mode. So what we're doing here is where the bosses spawn in, we're going to pull them down to the other end of the arena, so where we're stood. All that happens is shortly into the fight, there is a Titanic leap, which I will highlight for you. but it just frees us up to pass once everything's come down and joined the fight. So tanks will just watch out for that slam. You can move out of it, and we're just passing, and here's your Titanic leap. So the Titans all jump down, there will be an AoE on the floor, and then all your group will basically run up to the other end of the arena. You can see that you've got a nice clear area to pass, the portals are due up soon, and the curses are going out. So with these curses, the healers just need to heal the opposite group. So you just throw over a couple of combat prayers of Vigour and you're fine. And then we go straight into portals. As you can see here, you are looking for the brazier that only has one lit. If you go up into a portal that has two braziers lit, you will end up on an Ash Titan platform. And the chances of survival are slim to none. You will notice on these platforms there is a channeler and an ad that holds your orb to reset your carrion stacks. You want to try and take it between 4 and 5 just to play it on the safe side, and you will notice that I do sort of flip the camera around and show you the 1 brazier lit and the 2 brazier lit, which I will circle shortly. There we go. And as soon as the ground's clear, you and your group can jump back down and you basically pull it to the edge of the arena again, and you rinse and repeat. So group are going to do a bit of passing, wait for that Titanic leap to come in, and wait to prepare the group to move up the other end of the arena again. So Titanic leap's coming in, we're going to do a 1-2 cha-cha-cha up the arena, and then we're going to drop our ultimates, and we're just waiting for curses. And then shortly after the curses go out, you do a bit more passing, and then your portals are coming in, as you can see, in a couple of percent. So you're just going to have a look and keep an eye out for the 1 brazier again. So we're going in, taking care of the channeler, making sure we keep an eye out for our little ad that's got our reset orb, and then just waiting around. So you will notice here that the stacks sort of start ramping up, and if you take your orb to reset your stacks too early, it can leave you in a bit of a predicament later on. So don't panic synergy, guys, stay calm. So our first priority when we jump down is getting the recovery of the group, making sure that everybody is on their feet, and there is a perfect visual for when the boss jumps off if they get too close together. And then we're just bringing in that Titanic leap, repositioning the whole group, and then we basically go into execute from there. Stick to your mechanics, tanks are watching out for slams, DDs are watching out for the curses to go out, make sure you've cleared the area to pass, and they will go down fairly evenly. On veteran, it's a pretty simple fight. The step up to hard mode is probably one of the biggest ones I've seen, but fantastic fight. GG guys. And then as always, we're just going to travel through, we're going to clear out the trash, keep an eye out for our portals, go and kill the channelers, and then carry on. Get that done, and as you can see, Cake dies here, fade to black. You don't need to see that. Shh. Those incinerator banner ads will just put out these spectral flame shapers. You can interrupt them and they will disappear, or you can just burn them down and everything disappears anyway. So your abductor / watcher thing will spawn here for your third side boss, and again we just sort of take care of it, but we don't actually go in because we're just saving time. Travel a bit further down and cue Caspian's non-threatening sword that everybody just walks past and doesn't know why it's there. Take care of your ads, stack them up as best you can, and plough through it. I do feel like there is a tiny theme of me repeating myself. We're going to go through the portal, we're going to take care of the channeler, and then we're going to come back and go over the bridge. So this bone colo here, I just usually let the group deal with that as a standalone thing, just to build up crux, ultimate, anything that they need to go into the next trash pull. This trash pull goes a bit higgledy-piggledy, but it kind of just shows that who cares how you get there as long as you get there. Just stand and beam, guys. So if you have got to here without being mentally exhausted or pulling your hair out or screaming into a pillow, congratulations guys, you're nearly at the end. Here we have 3 bridges of, oh my god, where's the rest of my sanity going? So we're going to stack everything up on the left hand side. Main tank's going to take Caspian, off tank's going to take the Crusher and the Bannerad. So coming in hot is your sword, landed now, and tether will go out attached to 2 players. One of them needs to just run over and go and stand near the sword and it will cut. This mechanic I've just circled is a healing debuff attached to 4 players and it is displayed with a large blue circle around them. Just try and stand out of the way and keep the area clear for passing and let your healers do their thing. So when these ads turn up, these reset the carrion stacks for the portal. So you want to try and take care of them before you go into it, and you want to take care of the channeler that is in there. On the first one, there is one channeler, and then there is two, and then there is three. And you as a group want to move from right to left. Once it's dead, you're going to take the portal back to the main room, and you've got to stack up as quick as you can, and then you've got to run as a group across the bridge. As soon as one person goes and touches the bridge, it will start degrading, and eventually it will just pew. As you get over, try and stay near the edge of the arena, because there is a giant AoE that goes out just before Low Warden comes in, and you want to try and keep these quite separate but still within beam range of each other. As soon as Low Warden lands, you want to focus him, get him removed as quick as you can. On top of dealing with all the juicy mechanics that you got in the first area, so you've got your sword, you've got your tether, and you've got your healing debuff as well. Like, there's not enough that you need to focus on. And then he splits off into shades, so you're just going to take care of them around the outside and bring him back into the fight. You will notice that on my screen it said bombs spawned, which are these yellow roaming AoEs, and all you've got to do is get 2 players to pick them up, take them to the edge, and then let them explode. Ideally, you'd probably want a DD and a healer, because it can put a bit of a nasty tick on you as you're moving out. Just make sure it's not in the group and you will be fine. Once Low Warden's been removed, you're just going to pass on Caspian again, and you're just going to bring in that portal. You're going to make sure you take care of the ads, leave the orbs for the tank, and then send the group in. Now you can see we've got 2 channelers, so we are moving from right to left, taking care of them and watching out for the meteors as we go. I actually think this portal is hell on earth, but who am I to judge? Take the portal back together, group up, and then get ready to run, and we're making our way over to the next one. I actually think this one is the worst bridge of them all, and if you can get past here, you are free home high and dry. So she spawns in typical Malagkina fashion, and you basically have to go around and kill all the storm shades. Ideally, you want to stand on one and beam towards the other to remove them as quick as possible, and once they have disappeared, you will get a rotating lightning line that you have to roll dodge, heal, block, do what you need to survive it. But yeah, this section is not only visually overwhelming, but it can just be really draggy after the length of, you know, all of the fights and the trash pulls that you've been through. So hang in there. And don't forget, you've got all of the spicy mechanics from Caspian. So you've got the sword, the tether, the healing debuff, and the roaming bombs. I have left all of the beautiful deaths in there just to show you how chaotic this can be. But also showing the great things that can happen when you work as a team to get the recovery as well, and the things that you can accomplish. And perfectly displayed here by yours truly, you absolutely cannot have the healing debuff and get the roaming bomb without a healer in your space. It will kill you. And I left this in as well because it kind of shows you that if you stick to everything and you know what's going on around you, you can recover from anything. And it was a bit scrappy, but we made it. So pass on Caspian again, get rid of him, bring in the portal. I actually think this is probably one of the worst portals as well, so make sure you've got a barrier, make sure you've got everything as you're going in there. Take care of the ads for the tank, and then your duty to go and kill channelers. Again, this part is really visually overwhelming. You've got meteors, you've got all sorts, you've got incinerators, you've just got a whole load of stuff. So just try and stay calm, try and do damage, and here I am out here just trying to survive. Look at me. I'm like, I diced with death quite a few times in here. These are not my strong point. Get your portal back, stack up, get ready to run, and we are finally in the last portion of the fight. Bridge 3, home time. You're closer to the end than the beginning, guys. As we make our way over, keeping to the edge of the arena as always, you can see Caspian grows a little bit, looks like he needs a Snickers. And there's two ways to do this. So in the comfy groups, if you've got the damage and everything else, you want to just get your off tank to take Krogo all the way away and just pass on Caspian, execute him, get him gone. In the lower damage groups, you will have to take care of Krogo, and you obviously have to keep an eye on the mechanics that are going out. You have got some spicy semi-invisible lightning lines that can be really hard to see in here, and they will catch you off guard if you do not have a healer present or you end up wandering out of stack. And here the gang have done it. GG guys, and hopefully that helps you get a bit closer to your completion of Ossein Cage. Bye guys!